If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, as you can see, your boy is here on FloCombat, coming off his big win over Vinicius Moreira over the weekend at UFC Minneapolis. Eryk Anders joins us. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing awesome. And yourself?
I'm doing great. And I have to say, the first thing I noticed when you picked up the Skype chat on the other end is I think this is the first time we've done an interview where you are actually wearing a shirt. So this is a historic occasion.
Man, that's just because me and my old lady finna go grab some lunch. So, unfortunately, I have to wear clothes when I go out in public. But here around the house, we wear little to nothing.
Wardrobe aside, congratulations on the big win. You're back to your winning ways. It was an Eryk Anders-esque type performance on Saturday. You finished the fight in the first round quite viciously, I might add. How does it all feel a little less than 72 hours later?
Man, it definitely feels good to get back in the win column. I think I've underperformed in my last few fights. I'm definitely more than capable of fighting better than I have been. So it's good to get back on the winning track and get some momentum moving forward.
Does it feel like a little bit of a weight has been lifted off your shoulders? You snapped that losing streak. You finished the fight. It was a short night at the office to boot. Is that exactly what you needed?
Man, either way, man, just going out there and getting my hand raised was the objective, man. Of course, we aim to finish fights because, that's what I like to do. I like to get in there and get in those kind of scraps. But, unfortunately, you can't end them all that way. You can't always win every fight. So it was just important to get the dub and, to get things moving forward.
Do you ever take a break for any significant length of time? I mean, you were coming off that fight with Khalil Roundtree. It was like 2 months ago. I mean, that wasn't your night. You said it yourself that you took a little bit of a beating in that fight. How are you able to just keep going and come right back like that?
Man, I'm very passionate about the sport, man. I love it. I'm a fan of the sport. I love competing. So, if I'm able, then I will. And I love the training. I love everything that goes into this, So it doesn't seem like work. The training and being at the gym and stuff is very therapeutic for me, as well as competing. So if I'm able, then I'm in there.
What kinds of lessons did you learn from that Roundtree fight? I mean, you showed an incredible amount of grit and toughness. I know that the social media world was screaming from the digital rooftops, asking your cornerman to stop that fight heading into the third round. With every fight comes something you can at least take away from it, win or lose. What did you take away from that fight at UFC 236?
Man, I think the fans took away more than I did. I know how tough I am. My corner knows how tough I am. So there was never any question of throwing in a towel or quitting or giving up or anything. We all know that if I'm able to fight, then I'm gonna get back up every time and keep marching forward. So. It's not exactly something that you want to show the fans that you can do, but it'd be like that sometimes.
This is back-to-back fights for you at 205 pounds. I know the last time we spoke, you said that you kind of wanted to bounce back and forth. You wanted to fight at 185 for fights in the U.S. If you had to go overseas, 205 is kind of where you'd like to be. Is that still the vision here, or does 205 seem to be more of a home base for you these days?
Man, I get in where I fit in. I want to fight in San Antonio, and obviously, it's 2-3 weeks away. So me making 185 is, kind of out of the question. So, if a 205 fight comes available for me to fight it in San Antonio, then we'll jump all over it. So, like I said, I just get in where I fit in.
Has there been any discussion about that? Has the UFC reached out to you at all? I mean, after the win, you said you wanted to get on that card. It looks like there's already 13 fights on there. There is a light heavyweight fight, however, between Sam Alvey and Klidson Abreu that is scheduled on the card. Will your phone be on in case a change needs to be made in that fight?
Yeah, if one of those guys gets hurt to fall out, I'll definitely step in and fight either or. I'll take on all comers. And I'll be in San Antonio anyways. I'm from there. That's my hometown. So whether I get on the card or not, I'll be in the crowd.
If that doesn't all work out, when would you like to return? I know I already know the answer to that. You'd come back tomorrow if you could, but I guess I'll rephrase it too. Is there a particular card coming up outside of the San Antonio card that you'd like to be a part of?
One of the main reasons I got into the sport was to travel and to, to go fight other people in other countries and absorb other cultures and whatnot. So, man, I really like that Abu Dhabi card. Never been in that part of the world. If that doesn't work out, then definitely Copenhagen. Me and my wife love to travel, and, we love Europe. So, we'll probably have a little extended vacay if we get on that Copenhagen card.
I know for the most part you're not particularly a call-out guy, but is there anybody on your radar, 205 or 185, that you'd like to get in there with, or does it really matter at this point?
Man, it really doesn't matter to me. My manager, Jason House, he's the man. And, man, whoever he tells me they got for me is, the contract that we'll sign, and we'll get in there when they say it's time to go.
How does Eryk Anders and his team celebrate a victory like that in beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota? What did you guys do after the fight? Did you guys go out and hit the town running, so to speak?
Not really, man. I fought a little early in the card, and, man, we just kicked it back to the hotel and hung out in the lobby for a little bit, man. There's nothing like celebrating with the people who got you to that point, So I'm not really, when I was younger, like in my 20s, and I would for sure, go out and hit the town, but and me and my wife still do from time to time. But a victory like that, especially coming from where we've been, man, it was just awesome to celebrate with my wife, my coaches, my cornermen, and everybody who helped kind of put into that victory.
Did you enjoy the trip to Minneapolis? I mean, obviously there's a lot going on, and it's even better that you're going out there in June as opposed to going out there in January or February or even earlier than that in the wintertime.
Yeah, man. Minneapolis is wonderful, man. It's a very beautiful city. I would take the light rail. They have like a little train system, trolley system to get you downtown and get you all around the city there. And I would take it, get off downtown, and just go for a run and kind of get lost in the city, and just kind of escape and in my own head, if you will, while I was on my run. So it's a very beautiful city, very green city. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Birmingham. So man, it was cool to get out there and see Minneapolis. I've never been to Minnesota, so especially to go out there and get a victory, man, it was pretty cool. Did
you go to the Mall of America at all?
Oh, yeah. We went there the first day to go eat. But, aside from the amusement park inside there, it really didn't seem like any different than any other mall. So, but, man, it was cool, man. They had roller coasters. They even had water rides in there. So, that's a lot different than we're accustomed to here in the South.
I was just going to ask you if it was all that it was cracked up to be, because, I mean, I think I've seen it a couple of times, like on television and things like that, and I always wonder what it would be like to actually be in that mall, but, it seems like outside of the roller coasters and the attractions and stuff like that, it's just like every other mall in the country.
Man, when we pulled up, in my head, I don't know why, I just thought that there would be like this skyscraper of a mall. And when we pulled up, it looked like just a regular mall. Like the mall here in Birmingham, if you look at it, it looks bigger from the front than the Mall of America. So when we pulled up, I was like, is that it? This is the biggest mall or the second biggest mall in the world. But then when you go inside, you see how massive it really is. Like I said, they have like 3 different roller coasters in there. So merry-go-rounds, the little thing that you sit in the seat, and it's got the chain, and when it spins, you kind of swing out from the ride. I don't know what it's called, but man, it was like a little mini Six Flags in there.
Well, I know you're getting ready to head out to lunch with your wife, and we appreciate the time here. We look forward to whenever you get back in the cage as Eryk Anders joins us after his big win over the weekend in Minneapolis. Before we let you go, sir, let folks know where to find you on the web, social media, shout-outs, sponsors, anything else you'd like to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Man, you guys can get at me at social media, Instagram and Twitter at Eryk Anders. That's ERYKANDERS. On Facebook at Eryk Anders MMA. And a special shout out to Infinite CBD and Rev Gear.
Thanks, Eryk. Congratulations on the win. We'll talk soon. And for God's sakes, enjoy a little bit of R&R, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.